they told us. Once we walked out, we would never enter again. I thought they meant tomorrow. I did not know they meant forever. The pyramid was finished. Only a few of us were chosen to step inside one last time. With every step, the desert disappeared behind us, and the silence of stone took its place. We moved carefully through passages carved with astonishing precision, where every echo seemed to carry the voices of those who built them. The deeper we walked, the quieter the world
This incline
became,
is treacherous.
until only our footsteps remained. Then the passage turned upward. Every step carried us farther from the earth and closer to eternity. These men had spent years shaping stone. Today, they would leave their masterpiece behind forever. Then the darkness opened before us, and I realized the pyramid was far greater inside than I had ever imagined. We had built mountains beneath the open sky, yet nothing prepared me for the mountain hidden within.
The sheer
Every
scale
step
of the Grand
echoed
Gallery
through
is
the gallery.
breathtaking, showcasing the
The higher
genius
we
of the
climbed,
builders.
the smaller the world
The Grand
outside
Gallery
seemed to
stands
become.
as a testament to ancient engineering.
I had spent years
where massive
placing
limestone
stones
walls
beneath the
converge
sun.
with astonishing precision.
Now those same stones rose above me like a canyon carved by human hands. The master builder smiled only once. He said perfection leaves nothing more to add. No one spoke as we approached the chamber. Some places demand silence long before anyone asks for it. It was not filled with treasure. It was not filled
Hori,
with gold.
son of Amenhotep,
It was filled with
Imhotep
silence.
the weaver. By the
This
decree of the
granite had
pharaoh, you are
traveled
summoned
hundreds
for
of
labor and
miles from the
taxation.
south.
Pasher Yemptah.
We carried
The
more
king's
than
chamber.
stone. We carried the strength of an entire kingdom. The stone
waited our
coffin
whole
stood
lives
empty,
for this.
waiting patiently for a
Khai.
king whose
Khai.
journey had not yet begun. Above us rested stones so heavy they seemed to challenge the heavens themselves. Yet every beam stood exactly where it belonged. Years of labor came down to moments like these. Every line, every corner, every surface had to be worthy of eternity. I placed my hands upon the stone and whispered to
Be
myself,
safe, my son.
"We built this,
I will,
and long
Mother.
after our names are forgotten, it will
The
still
sheer
be
scale
here."
of the king's chamber
We
is
were no longer
breathtaking.
building.
These
We
monolithic
were
granite
preserving.
beams weighing
Every
tons
grain of
each.
dust we removed was one final act of respect. Even after years of work, the master builders measured everything once again. Eternity allowed no room for carelessness. Every stone had to rest exactly where it belonged.
Lift the block, step by
Nothing
step,
could be left
for the
unfinished.
glory of Ra.
Perfection was our final responsibility. The chamber had become so quiet that I could hear my own heartbeat echo against the granite walls. I looked back along the passage and wondered how many people would ever stand in this sacred place again, one by one. The tools that had shaped a wonder of the world were carried back into the light for the very last time. The room
Measure,
felt
again,
strangely alive,
verifying.
even in
Align
its
the cord,
emptiness.
cord. Secure.
It no longer
Final
belonged
check.
to us.
It is precise.
It belonged to history. I placed my hand upon the cool granite one last time, as if saying farewell to an old friend. I stepped through the doorway without knowing that it would be the last time I would ever see that chamber.
The fish is tough today.
The master builder looked at us in silence before speaking
drink
just
your
4
beer.
words. Tomorrow, we seal it.
The king's chamber
Before
is
the
now
sun
empty.
returned, we gathered one
Bring the
final
tools.
time. The desert was
Yes,
silent,
Lord Khai.
as if it knew history was about to change forever. We crossed the threshold once more, leaving the morning behind as the darkness welcomed us for the last time. Every movement demanded absolute control. A single granite block outweighed many men, yet together we guided it with patience and trust. No one raised their voice. After so many years, we understood
Tomorrow,
one another
we
through
seal
simple
it.
gestures and quiet determination. The stone settled into place with barely a whisper. Precision, not strength, had always been the true secret of our work. Every line was checked. Every surface was examined.
The stone is heavy.
We trusted
The
nothing to
gods
chance.
are great.
Not
Pull,
even on
brothers.
our final day
Pull
inside.
the weight.
We waited in complete silence. After years of labor, even the smallest pause carried the weight of eternity. I looked back only once.
Easy now, hold it steady.
Some places
A
stay
fraction
with
more
us
to the
long
left.
after we have
It is
walked
set,
away
Foreman.
from them.
Good. Release the tension
Sunlight
slowly.
waited at the end of the passage. It felt warmer, brighter, almost as if the world itself had changed. I stood between light and darkness, knowing that once we left, few would ever stand where I stood again.
Goodbye.
We stood together in silence.
I will remember this always.
No commands, no hammers, no ropes. Only the quiet
The
pride
scale
of
of
those
the
who had
endeavor
given
was
years of their
unprecedented.
lives to a
A
single
monument
dream.
built by the sweat and toil of
As the
thousands
morning sun
under the
touched the
unforgiving
polished
sun.
limestone, the pyramid no longer looked like stone.
Together now, pull!
It had become a mountain of light. No one celebrated with cheers. We simply stood together, staring upward. Some achievements are too great for words. The final scaffolds came down piece by piece. The
Behold,
tools that had filled this
the Great
place for
Pyramid of
years
Giza, as it
slowly
was meant to be
disappeared,
seen.
leaving only the monument behind. The plateau grew quieter with every passing hour. The voices faded, the dust
Steady
settled,
now, ease the tension on
and
the
the
main
Great
line.
Pyramid
Pull
finally
together.
stood alone.
Heave, ho! Pull
At
together.
sunset, I looked up one last time, trying to remember every line, every shadow, and every stone we had lifted together. At last, we turned toward home. We carried no gold, no reward, only memories that would remain
Here,
with
take a
us for the
piece.
rest of our
Thanks.
lives.
To a day's work.
As
well
the
done.
sun disappeared
Cheers.
beyond the western desert, the pyramid stood untouched by time, glowing like a beacon beneath the evening sky. I wondered if those who came
Goodbye, old
thousands
friend.
of years after us
Until
would
we meet
remember
again.
the hands
Oh.
that had built what they admired.
Remember your
We
oath,
believed
Khai.
we had finished building a monument. We never imagined we had begun a story the world would tell for thousands of years.
Heave.
We arrived together as strangers.
Let's make this
We
climb.
left as brothers, carrying nothing but memories that would stay with us forever. Every step carried me farther from Giza, yet part of my heart remained
the base
behind
steady.
among the stones we
Lift
had raised
And
together.
haul.
The Nile welcomed me home
Measure
once
twice,
again,
cut once.
flowing as faithfully as it had since the
Khai.
beginning of my life.
Welcome home.
My village looked smaller than I remembered. Or perhaps I had simply become someone different. My mother held me as though I had returned from another world.
Behold
In many
Giza,
ways, I
a
truly
monumental
had. My
effort
father
requiring
asked
the
no
daily
questions.
toil of thousands,
He simply
all
looked at
moving
my
as one
hands
under the relentless
and
sun.
understood everything they could never say. The dust could be washed away. The scars could not. They had become a permanent part of who I was, somewhere beyond the northern horizon. The Great Pyramid still greeted the first light of every
The
sunrise
Great
without
Pyramid,
me.
a testament to the might
I
of the
returned to
pharaohs,
the fields
rising
where my
block by
journey had
agonizing
begun.
block through the relentless
But the
passage
man
of
who
time.
harvested the grain was no longer the boy who had left. Some stories end where they begin. Mine did not. It was only waiting for the next chapter. I had returned to my village, but a part of my soul still wandered the silent halls of the Great Pyramid. One afternoon, a young boy pointed toward the northern horizon and asked, "Is it true you helped build the Great Pyramid?"
I never thought
I
I'd
looked
see a
down at my
sunset like
scarred
this again.
hands and smiled. "Yes," I said softly.
For
but
millennia,
I was only one
the
among
rhythm of the
thousands.
Nile dictated life in this
Beyond the
fertile
horizon
valley.
stood a mountain built by ordinary people, waiting to tell our story long after we were gone. We believed our work was finished. We never imagined that the greatest mystery of the Great Pyramid was only beginning.